Hey guys, welcome back to Defying Finance. This is Dwight. I just wanted to talk about GameStop real quick. Their earnings just came out. I think it was a negative $1.86 per share. I mean, just getting crushed, right? This was a company on its way out of business. You just had this short squeeze here, and everybody bought into this hype that it was going to go to the moon forever. Excuse me. And I know there's been people running around our local areas talking about investing all your money in it. It's going to have this giant comeback, and it may someday in the future, but that ain't right now. So if you haven't been following me, you probably don't know that I did short GameStop. I didn't sell naked puts or call options or anything like that. I just bought the contract. So I knew how much I was out right at the beginning. And of course, GameStop continued to rise at that time, but I didn't care because I knew it'd have to be very short lived. And I bought a 3-month contract, and that played out amazing. So that was a quick 800% gain. Multiple contracts on top of that I started buying too, but they started getting too expensive, but walked away with some great returns there. But you kept seeing these upswings here. It was just nuts. But by then, these contracts are so expensive, wasn't even worth getting involved. You had a lot of people just buying into options for their first time. They're not using limit orders or anything. They're just, man, they're just paying market price. Like the market would close and I would look at my option contract and the next order set up for the morning, like the bid and the ask price was just crazy. Like you could just buy one contract, all of a sudden it's like $15,000 is what it's going to open at in the morning. It was crazy, but assuming, you're actually the contract that gets filled on that. But anyway, I had a lot of people contacting me around this point saying, hey, what do I do? I own GameStop shares. I feel like it's going to go down. And then I have other people say, well, I think it's going to go up. I keep hearing this guy talk about it. Well, I was telling people, look, if it was my money, I'd have been out a long time ago. And I got out a long time ago. I wouldn't own this thing because their financials are garbage. This place is likely to go out of business, right? The price is not a reflection of how that business is doing. This stock is going to return to somewhere in this $10 to $20 range, probably very soon. Even if it dragged on, who cares, right? You don't want to be in this thing. So you can see what happened even just recently. You have your 50-day moving average, your 100-day, and your 200-day moving average. Everything is crossing that 200-day back in this point in January. You can see the last high point right here in the 200s, which is just crazy, right? But right around here, you can see that the 50-day moving average became resistance, and that's a bad sign. That would tell you this is going to continue to track downward as this price goes down. That's the moving average over a 50-day period of that price. So I think you're going to continue to see this going down, if not just fall one day through the floor. You got a lot of people with their hopes up. Don't buy into the garbage about, oh, it's going to go back up. Even if it did, there's so much risk involved. I would want my money somewhere else, right? So I think you're going to see GameStop return much, much lower down to this $10 to $20 range. If you haven't got out now, I would be out if it was my money. But anyway, you can see a clear trend. It's surprising that it's not more dramatic. I mean, I know it looks pretty bad right now, but you would think this would have just collapsed through the floor. You probably have these hedge funds who had to buy into this. They've been selling off this whole time during that hype when everybody else is pouring in to that market. So you have all these retail guys pouring their money in. All of these hedge funds that had to buy in, they're selling out in small pieces to these guys. That's why you're seeing this price get choppy through here. These probably weren't retail traders that were selling off in these points, right? Maybe some of them. These were those hedge funds just gaming these people with this GameStop. But anyway, just wanted to make a quick report on that. Just know that the finances are garbage. Go look at their balance sheets. I mean, this is horrible. So if you have a friend telling you that it's going to be the next greatest stock, hold on to it for the long term. You just have to say, well, first off, I don't know if that person's your friend anymore after this, right? Or they don't know what they're talking about. The point is, why would you pay this price for this stock when their earnings, they don't even represent that, right? You're paying way more than their earnings. So even if GameStop made a recovery someday, forget the stock price. Even if they made a recovery someday, as in they're starting to turn profits, they're reinvented, maybe they get into the crypto market and they start selling NFTs or something, I don't know, right? Or virtual video game worlds fire up from Atari or whatever, and they're part of it, or they get bought out by some place like that. Yeah, you might see a return of those earnings in time, but that you'd be paying way more than those earnings today. Like what you'd be paying decades in the future of these earnings right now. So you want to pay attention to the PE ratio, of course, being negative right now. Obviously, you don't want to get involved with this thing. I wouldn't even touch this thing. But anyway, that's all I got for you for now. I am recording this from TradingView this time, not just through my computer, so I can't mention certain social media places, but you know what to do. And make sure you comment and like these videos. There's other people that are watching. There's a lot of good advice here on TradingView, or good opinions and market situations going on. So just see what other people are sharing on here too. One more thing to point out, you can see down here the relative strength index. The mid section here is becoming resistance. This thing's done. So anyway, make sure if you're watching this somewhere else, if an ad pops up, just watch it. It's free information for you. It doesn't cost you anything but a little bit of time. And it's free content out there to hopefully enlighten everybody else on current situations and what I'm up to. Have a good one.